My name is Holly. I am 29 years old. I lived in London for many years. Now I am back in my small town. I came back last week. I thought I would feel happy here, but I do not feel happy. The town looks the same, but I feel different. The streets are quiet. The people walk slowly. Some shops are new. Some shops are closed. I see the old park. I see the school. I see the lake. Everything is here, but something is not the same. My heart feels strange. I did not come back for the shops or the town. I came back for one reason. I came back to see Ethan. He was my best friend. We met in school. We walked home together. He was kind. He was funny. I liked him. I always felt good with him. He made me laugh. He made me feel safe. He listened when I talked. When I was sad, he stayed. I never forgot that. I never forgot him. Before I left, I told him, I will come back one day. He looked at me and said, I will wait. I smiled. I believed him. In London, I worked in a small office. I lived alone. I met new people, but I did not fall in love. I could not forget Ethan. I waited. I waited many years. I thought he was waiting too. I thought we would meet again. Now I am back. I stay in my aunt's house. She is kind. She makes tea for me. She asks me about my life. I say, London is big. I was busy, but I missed this town. She smiles. I wait a little. Then I ask, do you know Ethan? She says, yes. He is still here. He lives near the lake. I say, is he alone? My aunt looks at me. She says, no. I think he has a girlfriend. My heart feels heavy. I say nothing. My aunt makes dinner. I eat a little. Then I go to my room. I sit on the bed. I think about Ethan. I think about his face. I think about his voice. I look at my old phone. I still have our photos. We were smiling. We were happy. I feel sad. I feel cold. The next day, I walk to the lake. It is not far. The sun is out. The wind is soft. I walk slowly. I look at the trees. I look at the water. Then I see him. He is standing near the water. A girl is next to him. She holds his hand. They are laughing. I stop. I hide behind a tree. I do not move. My heart is fast. My legs feel weak. I look at him. He looks happy. He looks at the girl with love. I want to walk away, but I cannot move. I look at the girl. She is pretty. She has long hair. She has a warm smile. I feel pain in my chest. Then Ethan turns. He sees me. He stops. He says something to the girl. Then he walks to me. "Holly?" he says. I say, "Hi." He looks at me. He smiles a little. "You are here," he says. "Yes," I say. "I came back last week." The girl comes close. She holds Ethan's arm. He looks at her. "This is Brooke," he says. "She is my fiancée." The word makes me feel cold. I try to smile. "Nice to meet you," I say. Brooke smiles. "Nice to meet you too," she says. Her voice is soft. Ethan asks, "Where are you staying?" I say, "I stay with my aunt." He says, "That is nice. We should meet for coffee one day." I say, "Okay," but my voice is low. I do not feel strong. I do not feel okay. They walk away. I stand alone. I look at the water. My eyes feel hot. I want to cry, but I do not cry. I walk home slowly. The air is cool. My shoes make small sounds on the path. I hear birds, but I do not smile. I feel pain in my heart. At home, my aunt makes tea. She looks at me. She says, "You saw him?" I say, "Yes." She looks at my face. "And the girl?" she asks. "His fiancée," I say. My aunt says nothing. She gives me tea. I hold the cup, but I do not drink. My hands feel cold. That night, I lie in bed. I look at the ceiling. I close my eyes. I see Ethan. I see his smile. I hear his voice. I feel tears on my face. I waited for him. I said no to love. I waited many years, but he did not wait. He gave his love to someone else. I feel lost. The next day I stay in bed. I look out the window. The sky is blue, but I do not feel good. I ask myself, why did I wait? Why did I not come back sooner? But it is too late. He is not mine now. He loves someone else. In the evening, my phone makes a sound. It is a message. It is from Ethan. He says, "Do you want to meet tomorrow?" My heart jumps. I hold the phone. I do not move. I read the message again. And again. I do not know what to say. I want to see him. I want to ask him why. But I also feel afraid. I do not want more pain. I wait for a long time. Then I type, "Okay." I press send. Then I put the phone down. I look out the window. The sky is dark now. The stars are out. The room is quiet. But my mind is loud. I feel so many things. I feel love. I feel pain. I feel hope. I feel fear. I wait to see him again. But I know he is not the same Ethan from before. Before I continue my story, I want to ask you something. Where are you listening from? Sometimes I wonder if someone out there really understands me. Just knowing you're here gives me strength. The next morning, I got ready slowly. I looked at myself in the mirror. My hair looked fine. My shirt was clean. But my face looked tired. I tried to smile. It was not a real smile. I felt nervous. I felt scared. I did not know what Ethan wanted to say. I did not know how I would feel after seeing him. We met at a small cafe in town. It was quiet. I walked inside. Ethan was already there. He stood up when he saw me. "Hi," he said. "Hi," I said back. We sat down. He asked, "How is your aunt?" I said, "She is well." We both smiled a little. Then we were quiet. After a few minutes, he said, "You look the same." I laughed a little. "You don't," I said. "You look older." He laughed too. "I feel older," he said. We talked about small things first. I told him about my office job in London. He said he worked at a shop now. We talked about school, old teachers, and some friends. It felt easy, but my heart still hurt. Then I looked at him. I asked, "Do you remember what you said before I left?" He looked at me. "Yes," he said. "I said I would wait." I nodded. I looked down at my hands. "Did you wait?" I asked. Ethan was quiet. He looked out the window. Then he said, "I waited for a long time. I looked at my phone every day. I thought you would call, but you didn't." I said, "I wanted to call. I thought about you all the time." He said, "Then why didn't you?" I looked at him. "I was scared," I said. I didn't know what to say. I thought I would come back soon, but time passed. I kept waiting for the right time. He looked sad. "I waited, Holly. But after 2 years, I thought you forgot me." I shook my head. "I never forgot you. I still thought about you last week." He said, "But you were not here." I said, "Now I am." He smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "It's too late now." We both sat in silence for a moment. Then I asked, "How did you meet her?" He said, "Brooke. She moved to town last year. She came into the shop one day. We talked. Then we met again. She made me laugh. She was kind. It felt good." He looked at me. "I did not plan it. I just needed someone. I was tired of waiting." I looked away. I felt a small tear in my eye. I did not want him to see. "Do you love her?" I asked. He took a deep breath. "Yes, I do." My chest hurt. I looked down at the table. My hands felt cold. He said, "I'm sorry, Holly." I said, "It's not your fault." But I wanted to cry. I wanted to go back in time. I wanted to stop the clock. I wanted to change everything, but I could not. Time moved on, and so did he. We talked a little more. Then he looked at his watch. "I have to go," he said. "She's waiting." I nodded. "Okay." He stood up. I stood up too. We walked to the door. He said, "It was good to see you." I said, "You too." He opened the door and left. I sat back down. I looked at the chair where he sat. My eyes were wet. I put my hand on my chest. I said to myself, "It is over now." I stood up and walked out. The street was bright. The sun was warm, but I felt cold inside. That night, I did not eat. I sat by the window. My aunt came into the room. "Did you meet him?" she asked. I nodded. "Yes." She looked at me. "Are you okay?" I said, "No, but I will be." She gave me a soft smile. Then she left the room. I looked at the stars. I asked myself, why did I wait? Why did I not write, not call, not visit? I thought I was doing the right thing, but now I see I was wrong. I waited too long. I lost him. The next day, I went for a walk. I walked past the lake. I sat on a bench. I watched the ducks in the water. I saw some children play. I closed my eyes. I thought of Ethan again, his face, his laugh, his voice. I missed it all, but I knew he was not mine now. He belonged to someone else. I stayed at the lake for a long time. Then I went home. I helped my aunt in the kitchen. We made tea. She talked about her garden. I listened. I did not say much. My heart still felt heavy. Later that week, I saw Ethan again. He was walking with Brooke. She smiled. He smiled. They looked happy. I stood across the street. He saw me. He gave me a small wave. I waved back. Then I walked away. I went home and sat in my room. I told myself, this is the truth. He is not waiting now. He has moved on. I need to move on too. It was not easy. My heart still wanted him. But I knew the truth. The past was gone. That night, I wrote nothing. I did not make a list. I did not make a plan. I just sat. I sat with my pain. I let it stay. I let it speak. And then, for the first time, I also let it go a little. The next morning, I woke up early. The sun was not out yet. The sky was light gray. I sat on the bed and looked at the floor. My eyes were dry now. I was not crying, but I felt tired. My heart was quiet, but not full. It felt empty. I got dressed and walked outside. The street was cold. There was no one around. walked to the old park. I sat on a bench. I looked at the trees. The leaves moved in the wind. The air was fresh. I closed my eyes. I listened to the birds. I thought about many things. I thought about my life in London. I thought about the time I spent alone. I thought about the days when I was happy and the days when I was not. I thought about all the times I wanted to come back. I thought about Ethan. I thought about the boy I loved. I stayed at the park for a long time. I watched people walk by. A boy ran with his dog. An old man sat on a bench across from me. A woman walked with a baby in her arms. The world was still moving, but I felt still. Later, I walked to a small shop. I bought some milk and bread. The man at the shop smiled and said, "You are new here?" I said, "No, I lived here before. I just came back." He smiled and said, "Welcome home." I gave a small smile back. It felt strange to hear the word home. When I got back, my aunt was in the kitchen. She was cutting fruit. She looked at me and said, "You look better today." I said, "I feel a little better." She gave me some tea. We sat at the table. She said, "You have a kind heart. You waited for someone you loved. That means your love was real." I said, "But he does not love me now." She said, "That's okay. You can still be proud of your heart." I looked at her. I felt warm inside. I said, "Thank you." She touched my hand and said, "One day, someone will love you with the same heart." I did not speak, but I hoped she was right. That evening, I went to the lake again. The sun was going down. The sky was orange. I stood near the water. I looked at the place where I saw Ethan and Brooke. They were not there now. It was quiet. I walked a little. Then I saw a woman sitting on the grass. She was crying. I walked near her and said, "Are you okay?" She looked up. Her eyes were red. She said, "I'm just sad." I sat next to her. I said, "It's okay to be sad." She looked at me. She asked, "Are you sad too?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Did you lose someone?" I said, "Kind of. I lost someone I loved, but he did not die. He just gave his heart to someone else." She nodded. "That hurts," she said. We sat together in silence. Then she said, "Thank you for sitting with me." I said, "You're welcome." I stood up and said goodbye. She smiled. I walked home slowly. I did not know her name. I did not know her story, but I knew her pain, and she knew mine. It felt good to sit with someone who understood. That night, I sat near the window. I looked at the stars. I thought about many things. I did not feel strong, but I also did not feel broken. I felt like I was still here. I was still alive I was still me. The next day, I helped my aunt in the garden. We pulled out old weeds. We planted some flowers. The sun was warm. My hands were dirty. I laughed when I got mud on my face. My aunt laughed too. It felt simple. It felt nice. Later, I went for a walk in town. I saw a small place that needed help. A help wanted sign was in the window. I walked inside. A woman smiled at me. "Do you want to work?" she asked. I said, "Maybe. I just came back to town." She said, "We only need part-time help. Just a few hours." I said, "Okay, I can do that." She said, "You can start tomorrow." When I walked out of the place, I smiled. It was not a big job, but it was something. It was a start. It gave me something new to think about. That evening, I saw Ethan again. He was at the bakery across the street. He did not see me. He was laughing with Brooke. She was holding his arm. They looked happy. I did not stop. I just walked by. But this time, I did not feel pain. I did not feel cold. I felt a little sad, yes. But I also felt free. I knew it was really over. And I was okay. I went home. My aunt made dinner. We ate together. Then we washed the dishes. I looked at her and said, "I think I will stay in this town for a while." She smiled and said, "I'm happy you're here." That night, I went to bed early. I closed my eyes. I thought about Ethan, but the picture in my head was not so clear anymore. It was soft. It was in the past. It did not hurt now. I said to myself, I waited for him. I loved him, but he moved on. And now I can move on too. I smiled. Then I fell asleep. If you liked my story, please like, comment, and share. More simple and emotional stories are coming soon.